Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for more Phoenix Wright Case 5 for the voice LP. And apparently, we're going to do all 3 days, so we're barely in day 2, so... Oh, balls. February 24th, 9:41 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at the other crime scene. Lana? Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We discovered traces left by a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. You found Officer Marshall's traces? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Alright. How many red scarves does she have? I only got 1. February 24th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 9.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach criminal affairs from the prosecutor's office. The victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart? He sounds so on the top of things? Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself? And that's supposed to be admirable trait? That's supposed to be an admirable trait?
Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
Its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. Meekins?
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Meekins! Oh jeez, I forgot his voice. Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Meekins? Oh my balls.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir, I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it, sir. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir.
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is...
Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir.
A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend, sir. Please, Miss Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm?
Sure you can. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day, sir. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room, sir. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it, sir. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake, sir. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you, sir. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. It's time to press the balls out of this guy. Crime report, sir. Okay, here we go. Press. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes, now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the head detective, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process, sir. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, sir. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, so what did you see when you got there?
Alright. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck, sir.
So then, your ID number should be listed in here, right? It should be 498, yeah.
That is it, sir. I found it. This is the one right here, sir. Would you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
I see. Huh? But the number is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down, sir. I see. It was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen, sir.
Alright, yep. Who's the sevens? Alright, here we go. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was, sir.
You're not exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him, sir. That's how I got this gash on my hand, sir.
Maybe you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked, sir. I grabbed the man by his collar.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver, sir. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
See. He must have been desperate.
Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew, sir.
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir.
Trench coat covered in blood. That seems significant. About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious, sir.
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. Hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain, sir. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand, sir.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my cell, sir. Chief Kent delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The Chief?
Delivered it?
What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room, sir. What? What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at, sir.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you... show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder? Just what are we getting ourselves into? Oh my god. But what if this attack did happen? Right? So what if both these attacks happened? Which means this guy over here isn't Goodman. Oh, that's why the things that hide the face. But this guy's someone else who got stabbed and hit his Marshall. This is Marshall, isn't it? Right there. That's got to be Marshall. Also pretty clever with that badger covering his face every time. And the guy disappears. Okay. I think Goodman, yeah, there, right there. Yeah, right there. Marshall was posing as Goodman. Goodman was in the trunk of, Edgeworth's car this whole time. What I suspect is that Goodman got kidnapped. Well, he got beat up, kidnapped, and put in Edgeworth's car. So that he could pose as Goodman and steal evidence. And then he stuffed the white coat into there, which means Marshall should have a knife wound then. Unless he never... No, he said he stabbed him, or he bled on him. So, Marshall might not have a knife wound, but there is blood on that coat that he was using to pose as Goodman. So that part I understand. What I don't understand is what happened to Goodman. Unless Goodman did get stabbed. Okay, okay. Marshall stabbed Goodman, stuffed him in Edgeworth's trunk. Edgeworth drives, he goes to the other place. Goodman comes out. who happens to be there? The head prosecutor. Head prosecutor sees him. She cuts herself trying to get the knife out of his chest. He maybe says a couple things before he dies. She gets the evidence, stuffs it in the tailpipe because she knows Marshall's involved. Maybe he said Marshall. Because she knows Jake Marshall's involved, she hides the evidence so that it can be found for court instead, so Marshall can't find it and hide the evidence. It's a bunch of evidence hiding to prevent things from happening. Now, why Marshall did this is maybe he wanted to clear his name or something. But I think that's my theory right now as to what happened.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? That is going to be significant.
Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of, activity did take effect.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Mystery Man. Alright. More water really quick. His face can be clearly seen in the video, sir. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do, sir. The locker he opens is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it, sir.
What's this about the fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything begins with contradiction. That's where I have to start. Hey, Black. Mystery Man. Whoop. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Yes, sir. If you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe it will be classified as the latter, sir.
The latter? But you were not... The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Sir? Yeah, that's a good trade for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him, sir. I bet my badge on it. And lose it. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Why is everyone looking at me, sir? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins! Eek! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. There it is. That's a hard one to dispute. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past, sir.
They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
If a man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too.
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed, sir. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
Of which you have many, I'm sure.
For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir?
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
Don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Let's say yes. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not be Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting, Your Honor. I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
Who would want me to point it out?
Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
Had to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, and or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing, okay?
Please don't play it too many times, sir. I can't stand watching the video, sir.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman?
You know, being able to go back and forth and pause and all this stuff. In 3 years of playing Smite, it would have been nice if they had that feature. Alright, going forward. It's gonna be right here at the end. Wait for it. He's down. There. Present. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be this.
Hold on a second. I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it.
Huh? Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine?
Don't look at me with those blurry eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again.
Yeah, play the video again. It's right there. Did I point it badly? Very well. Let's try this again. I'm saving just so we don't get that again. I thought I pointed out. I guess I didn't point out well enough. Speed up. What the hell was that? What is that? That falls out from inside. I did not notice that the first time. Present this really quick. I think it's gotta be strange with this video. It's gotta be this.
Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
The point?
What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir.
Rats, I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now what do I do? Play the tape. Alright, well we didn't lose a mark, so that's good. So, that was just something interesting, but I guess we have to cover that later. For now, we should just get that thing. That happens. There's Meekins. They fight it out. Look at all that blood there. Jesus, that's a lot of blood. Keep going. There, okay. This is what I'm trying to point out. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be that.
Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean?
Really? This doesn't count as it either? That's the one right there! Fine, keep playing, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, those were, okay. I figured it's like, well, the coat's in there. Go grab the coat, guys. Go to the police station, get the coat. But apparently no. Blood. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this?
Hold on a second. I need to use my...
Damn it! Okay, do it again. The light's on. The light's on. Try that. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir? Do you mean... What do you mean, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If the print matches the... When did that happen? Registered data, the light turns on and the lock is released. We never did that!
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
That never happened to us, what the hell? If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. It's already on. Okay. It's on before he even gets there. But he just has to open the door. The victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind a little earlier. Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit!
Yeah, precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Okay.
Hold up. What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Hey, Internet! What the judge just said. Me, Your Honor?
Yes, why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the electronic system? Something jam the sensor? Say! There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause of this.
Yeah, okay, it's over here. This thing I grabbed earlier. What? Go back. No! I meant to drag that son of a... Damn it! I meant to drag this. There you go. There we go. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
Badunk. What's this? Something white fell from the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open, sir. They often fall out and roll great distances when I open my door, sir. We can't be sure. That item was in the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie, sir. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me.
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, but it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulated you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well, would the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
Didn't we have something else that was related to a different... Oh, right, the screwdriver. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this. Go with the glove. The rubber glove. But it's for that incident. Whatever, rubber glove. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was the victim. That was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order, order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim whom this is, witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir.
Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony.
Alright. Drink some water.
Oh, crap, there's one other thing that proves it was him, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card, sir.
Yeah, we found that at the murder scene.
When an ID card is used, there's a record of it, sir. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card, sir.
But he never showed it to you. Why wouldn't he?
An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor.
But, yeah.
The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room?
Good question.
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end? Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. My hair already stands on end, it's really spiky.
There were only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let's move on to the cross-examination.
We have the ID. We found it at the crime scene. The second one. Alright, let's press for now. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir.
Didn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out.
By the way, is it left hand or right hand that is derogatory? Which one? Which one? This one? Or is it this one? Which one's flipping you off right now? Is it either one?
The witness can't afford to make any more mistakes.
Right? Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget, sir.
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck, sir. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck in my card, or when I get out, sir? Well, the remaining time my ID card gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
And yet we found it at the crime scene.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Because Marshall left it there. On purpose or an accident? It has to be on purpose when you think about it, because then it would establish Goodman was there. We'll see. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman.
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor.
You never noticed? Oh, I haven't shot him. Not the prosecutors again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. He probably is. You've got the wrong color, kid.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue the cross-examination.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's worry about him right now. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Well, maybe he just panicked, sir. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
I'm confused.
What?
The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it? Come on, let's show them what we've got.
Yup, okay. I'm safe. Okay, so the question is, where do we show the card? When do we show the card? Here? Here. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense? No. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. This is how we link Marshall. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the lock in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes! What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't good. Yup. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So, the real crime could only take place at one location. The underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. Yup! A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah, crap!
That's fine. We've established a link to something important, though. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else, Lana?
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
Object!
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. There it is. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination to the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses may be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh, whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would this person who you would have testify, what is his name? His or her name?
Jake Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
I can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees with the defense's request. As he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court in recess. Go play some kickball, whatever.
Alright. Good order. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured out anything. Lana? You're the one who knows everything? Emma. You always know everything? Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you? I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! Hey, 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 hey! I didn't see you there, Miss Sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh, oh. You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective, due to my present circumstances. I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when I'm making my request.
My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident?
But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you. The chief prosecutor were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Receive files, okay. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with zero murderers, pal. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma! But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana? This SO9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No, Lana? That's over with, no?
She fainted. Emma, wait! Oh, she ran away.
She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Coward! Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
I'd better take a good look at this file. To be continued? Another court? Oh wow, they're splitting up the court. Wow. Alright. This is a long-ass case. Okay, so that'll be next episode. So, Scarf's current theory. Goodman lost his ID card. Okay, that much we know. He lost his ID card whenever the time was for the transfer. Edgeworth goes in the evidence room because he got sent there by Gant. Gant is doing something. I don't know what. For some reason, Gant is doing some sort of machinations here. Or Gant is he just sent him as a coincidence. It seems like Gant is after Edgeworth, though, so I don't think it is. I think Gant has something planned during all this. Edgeworth goes in there, goes out, whatever. Goodman gets stabbed, and gets stabbed with Edgeworth's freaking knife shoved into his trunk. Edgeworth leaves with Goodman in his trunk, doesn't know Goodman's in there, and he arrives at the prosecutor's office. While that's happening, Jake Marshall poses as Goodman. Here's the question. Was Goodman wearing his coat at the murder scene? I don't remember that part. He has his hat. But, well, then maybe it was an extra coat. Jake Marshall is in the evidence room. He uses the ID card. He made it so that the door didn't get locked when it should have been. And so, Jake Marshall... While Edgeworth was in the evidence room, that was the time to put Goodman's body in his trunk. That's maybe when that happened. So Jake Marshall's in there, getting whatever out of SL9, out of Jake's getting whatever evidence out of Goodman's locker while playing as Goodman. Meekins shows up, they get in a thing, Jake gets away after knocking out Meekins, and he puts the coat inside his own locker with the tail popping out so that we can open that locker up and find that coat later. Marshall, the next day, is at the crime scene, and he leaves the ID there, on accident or on purpose,
because the ID should be on Goodman there. All the confusion of having 2 crime scenes, though, really screws things up for everybody. But this allows them to cause a lot of trouble for Edgeworth. What happens when Goodman comes out of Edgeworth's trunk is the prosecutor sees him, she tries to pull the knife out of him, she cuts herself trying to do it. That's how she gets herself on all the evidence. All the crap happens with Star. Either her or Star knock over the barrel, which puts all the water into the blood, washing it all away. But at some point, when Goodman was dying or is dead, she stuffs the knife into the muffler using her scarf to hide it because something's up. Maybe Goodman said something. So there's a lot of just sneakiness happening where everyone's hiding evidence from each other. And so this is causing a lot of headaches, and we're just unraveling this complicated ball of everything. That is my theory right now. So, Jake Marshall coming up in the next episode. So there you go. That right there is the game for now. I had fun watching. That's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. If you like this episode, give us a like. If you like us, give us a sub. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.